So in last lecture we have seen types of switches, single way switch, two way switch, right? We have also seen the lamp holders, right? Now in this chapter, types of wiring and wiring accessories, we are going to see ceiling rows in today's lecture. Ceiling rows, socket, plug, fuses, that is fuse, distribution box, and connectors, and also adapters in today's lecture. So we will start with ceiling rows. So I will insert one image also, and I have this ceiling rows also. So this is how it looks. So this is ceiling rows. So ceiling rows is used for providing tapping to pendant lamp holders through the flexible wires. That means we can connect. I will insert the image. So you can see from that ceiling rows, they have given the supply to the tube, right? You are seeing in this picture. So this is the ceiling rows. So they are providing tapping to the tube lights, fluorescent tube lights. So this is the ceiling rows. Ceiling rows are used for tapping to pendant lamp holders with flexible wire. So flexible wire is required, right? So flexible wire is required. Connection, we can do connection from this ceiling rows to fan. We can do connection to the fluorescent tubes, ceiling fans, right? So this is the ceiling rows. So we have to just attach it like this to the wall, and this is the cover, and it has 2 or 3 plates. So this is 2 plates. So there are 2 or 3 plates which are separated from each other by porcelain or bakelite bridge. What it mean by porcelain? Porcelain, that means it is insulation. So this is made up of porcelain, and it is in circular, right? Ceiling rows consist of circular porcelain and bakelite base. So this is the base and this is the cover. So this is in circular and it is made up of porcelain or bakelite, right? So these are insulations, and from this we have to do the connection. And this is how we have to connect it to the wall, and we have to do the connection further to the lamp or to the fluorescent tube or to the ceiling fan, right? So this is how the ceiling rows looks like. So this is about the ceiling rows. Now we will see the sockets. So this is the socket, right? This is the socket. So here you can see there are how many terminals? So basically there are 3 main terminals: phase, neutral and earth. So the terminals on the right side are for the phase, right? So terminals on the right side, they are for the phase. On the left side, they are neutral. And this terminal here, you can see this third terminal, which is thicker and the bigger in cross section. So this is for the earth. So we have seen in safety measures chapter earthing, why earthing is provided and types of earthing. So if you have not learned that chapter, please do watch that lecture also. So you can see here they have given the terminal names here behind. So you can see here this is for neutral. So this here it is not able to see. So this side is neutral, that means this side. On the left side it is given neutral. This side it is given the live wire, right? And this is provided for earthing purpose. So this is socket. So why we require socket? So whenever we have to connect our apparatus, right? Whenever we have to enable the portable apparatus to the connected to the final sub-circuit, socket is required. So in your textbook, they have given sockets are required to enable portable apparatus. That means if we have to connect any apparatus, we have to first plug in that apparatus, right? So sockets are required to enable portable apparatus to be connected to the final sub circuit. Right, sockets have insulated base. This is all insulated base. So here will be live wire present. So whenever we touch on this outer side, we must not get shock. So this is made up of porcelain base having the 3 terminal sleeves. Two terminal sleeves are made for taking connections to the cable. That means it has phase and neutral, and 1 terminal is given to the earth. The terminal which is thicker, it is given to the earth. Cover again molded and corresponding 3 holes. There are 2-pin sockets as well as 3-pin sockets. In a 3-pin socket, that means it will be provided with earthing, and in 2-pin there will be no earthing. So 2-pin sockets are used for 5 ampere. So 2-pin sockets are used for 5 ampere current, and 3-pin sockets are used where the power circuit is required. That means you can see in your home also, for the fridge, right, AC, we require 3-pin socket. Why? We have to provide earthing there. So we have to provide 3-pin socket there. So this is about the socket. So it is very basic. So socket, why we require socket? So socket is required to enable the portable apparatus to be connected to the sub circuit. Sockets have insulated base. They have insulated base. Just remember, they have insulated base, and they have 3 terminal sleeves. 2 terminal sleeves are for phase wire and for the neutral wire, so that the connection has to be done between the apparatus and the 3rd terminal, which is thicker, right? You can see here, this is the bigger one. So this is provided for earthing. So these sockets may be 2-way socket or 3-pin socket. So 3-pin where are required? That for the power circuits, they are used for AC refrigerator, right? So these are used 3-pin for that purposes, and 2 pins for our normal purposes, for chargers and everything. We can use 2-way socket. So these are about the sockets. Now we will see the plug. So we have completed ceiling rows, sockets, and now plug. So this is plug. This is a 2-way, right? This is 2-way. So we can just plug this right here, right? So for taking power from sockets, plugs are used. So the power will be present in sockets, right? Now we have to take that power to the apparatus. Then what we will do? We will connect this in the socket, and therefore the power will come to our apparatus. Plugs are available in 2 different ways, that is 2-pin or 3-pin. So 3-pin are mostly seen in power circuits, that are, we can see it to our fridge pin, or as I told you in earthing, we have seen that 3-pin in iron also, right? So these are 2 pins or in 3 pins. So 2 pins current rating is 5 ampere. So 2-pin current rating is 5 ampere, and 3-pin it is 15 ampere. So this is the pin, plug. So why they are used? For taking power from sockets. So this sockets will have phase and neutral, right? So their power will be in this sockets. So this socket, power from this socket, we have to take it to our apparatus. So what we have to do? We have to connect this to the socket. So for taking power from socket, plug is required. Plug are available with 2-pin or 3-pin. For current ratings are, for 2-pin it is 5 ampere, and for 3-pin it is 15 ampere. So now we will see the distribution box. So distribution box, what does it mean? Now consider one example. So this is one building, and it has n number of houses or flats in this. So every house must be provided with supply, right? So what we do, as you can see in nearby buildings, there is one box in parking or at the ground floor. So this box is nothing but distribution box. So in industries or in big buildings, number of circuits, so this number of circuits are to be wired. That means wiring is provided or supply is to be provided to all the number of houses present in this building. So what this distribution box does, so the main supply, so whatever the main supply is there, it is brought from the main switch and it is given to the distribution box. And then when the main supply comes to this distribution box, then the supply is divided for the particular number of house, right? So here fuses are also provided, right? So what will happen? The main supply will come here to the distribution box. What does it mean by distribution? Distribute means we have to distribute it independently, right? So what will happen in this distribution box? We will distribute this supply independently to the particular houses, right? So the industries or in big buildings, number of circuits are to be wired. Distribution box becomes a necessity, right? We cannot bring every home the main supply. So what we have did here, we have given the main supply to this distribution box. So it may be either, this box may be either of wooden case or it may be metal case. So it has rectangular shape, you can see in apartments, right, with the number of KitKat base and fuse carriers depending upon the number of circuits. So we will see what is fuse. So it has number of fuse as much there are number of circuits we have to make here in the apartment, right? So it has number of KitKat base and fuse carriers depending upon the number of circuits. Supply main is brought from the main switch. So the main supply, whatever the main supply is there, we are giving it first to the distribution box and then independently it is given to the each circuit. So now from here we can give it to this house, from this we can give it to this house. So numbering is done here, so that particular house will get, that means here numbers are provided on their circuits, right? So what if there is any fault in any of this circuit? So now consider there is fault in this circuit or in this circuit, right? So what we can do, we can just focus on this fault and this other circuits will get not affected. Only this circuit will get affected, others will not get affected, right? The advantage is that if there is any fault in circuit, other circuits will get not affected, right? So I hope you have understood this distribution box. So whatever if there is any fault occurred in any of the circuit, then what we have to do, we have to just consider this. The other circuits here will not get affected. So this is about the distribution box. Now we will see the fuse. So what is fuse? So fuse is basically a safety device. Fuse is safety device. Okay, fuse is safety device. So this is the fuse. Okay. So why we require fuse? So what happens whenever there is overcurrent flow? So this is the fuse. Consider this is our fuse and this is fuse wire, right? So this is our fuse wire. So this fuse wire, fuse element is made up of copper or tin lead. Just remember, this is made up of copper or tin lead. Now what we have to do, we have to connect this fuse, right? So what is the fuse? Fuse is used for the safety purpose. So whenever there is overcurrent flowing or whenever there is more current flowing than rated current, what is meant by rated? So now consider our appliance must get only 5 ampere of current, right? Now what happens whenever if there is more current? Now consider there is 10 ampere flowing from this circuit. That means our appliance will get damaged, right? So what does this fuse do? Whenever there is more current flowing than rated current, this fuse element will melt, right? It will melt. Then what will happen? So this fuse element will get melt, and due to this melting, what will happen? Our circuit will get open circuit, right? So there will be no current flowing forward. So this is how a fuse helps. So in your textbook they have given the definition. So the fuse element consists of piece of copper or tin lead alloy. So as I said, this is the fusing element. So this is made up of copper, Cu, or tin alloy, tin lead alloy, which will melt. So as I said, it will melt when overcurrent will flow. Incoming and outgoing lines are connected to the base. So the KitKat fuse. So there are two types of rewirable and non-rewirable. So that means what? Whenever this fuse elements will get melt, then we can easily rewire it. That means we have to just place the another wire here, fuse element here. And non-rewirable means what? We will be not able to rewire that element. Now this type is rewirable. So whenever it will melt, fuse element will melt, then we can rewire it and again attach it to the fuse element, right? So this is how it works. So this is the fuse. So now this is the base, and this is the carrier, right? So this is the carrier and this is the base. When carrier is inserted, so this is the carrier and this is the base. So when carrier is inserted in base, it connects to the incoming and outgoing of the base, right? So this is the incoming and outgoing of the base, and here this is the carrier. So whenever we connect this to the base, what happens? Our circuit gets completed. Normally the fuse wire are a rewirable type. That means we can open it and we can just rewire the wire. So normally the fuse are rewirable type. Okay, so this is about the fuses. So just remember, fuse is safety device used for the overcurrent protection. So whenever there is overcurrent flowing, the fuse element will get melt. There are two types, that is wireable and rewirable and non-rewirable. In rewirable, what we can do, we can reconnect the fuse element again when it get melts, and in non-rewirable we cannot rewire it. So this is about the fuse. Now we will see the connector blocks. So I have inserted one image. So as you can see here, it consists of one or more brass connecting barrels with set screws to the clamp the wire. So what does it mean? So the connector blocks, we can connect the wires. As its name indicates, we have to just connect the wire. It is surrounded by molded blocks of insulated material. So this, whatever you are seeing, the white portion, so that is the insulated material, that is porcelain or bakelite. The brass barrels is fitted in the connector block. So you can see there like metal type, that are the brass barrels. Okay. So these are basically used to connect one circuit to the another circuit. So its name just indicates connector blocks. Now we will see the adapters. What does it mean by adapter? So these are the adapters. So this is the adapter. Okay, so with the flexible wire, so this is the flexible wire and we have to do connection here. Okay, so this is how the connection is did. So we have to connect this phase and neutral to this point, and then, so what is adapter? When connections are made from lamp holders, so these are the lamp holders, right? These are the lamp holders. So we have to just attach your lamp. So whenever we have to extend this, right? Whenever the connection is made from lamp holder, the adapter is used. So whenever we have to extend our wiring from this lamp holder further, we have to use this adapters. So how we'll use this adapters? So this is how we have to just insert it in this and we have to take the connection further. Are you getting this point? So whenever the connections are made from lamp holder, adapters are used. It consists of portable fitting, temporary, in the place of fixed brackets. So whenever we have to increase or extend for the temporary purpose, so we can use this adapter. So we can just connect in like this way and we can give the further connection, right? So the ends of flexible wires are connected from back side to the two plate adapter. So as I told here, so this is the back side of adapter. So here we have to do the connection at the ends with the flexible wire. So this is how the adapter works. So just remember where we have to use the adapter whenever we have to take or we have to make connection from the lamp holders. Adapters are used. So this is about today's lecture. If you have any doubts, you can please ask. This is very basic, and if you have any doubts, then please ask. In next lecture, we are going to see wiring wires, how we can join the wires to extend them. So now consider this is wire, and we have to extend this wire from this. So how we can extend or how we can connect this wire, we are going to see it in further lecture.